Alright, so we're taking a look at the worst father on TikTok. Now this story gets very interesting and it's somewhat detailed, and it's by a YouTuber that I am subscribed to. I've also dropped a like on his video, Repzilla. If you look up Repzilla and look up the worst father on TikTok, you'll find this video. If you like this video, come check it out on his channel, give him a like, give him a sub. This dude's awesome. When you subscribe to anybody's channel, if you didn't know this, if you're new to YouTube, or if you just don't know this is a feature on YouTube, when you subscribe, you can even do this to me as well on YouTube. JoeyPlaysGames, same exact thing as my TikTok. But if you subscribe, click all for notifications, and you'll get notified on your phone. It'll say right here, you'll get all notifications. It'll go straight to your phone, or your tablet, or whatever that you have this electronic device that uses YouTube. You'll get a notification, so you'll never miss an upload. With that being said, if you're new around here, subscribe. If you're new on my TikTok, leave a follow. We're live on both platforms right now. Let's kick it. This story gets very interesting. You're going to want to grab your favorite beverage and a snack. Now the snack, you're not going to really be needing to eat. Just have it on the side. Why you're not going to eat it? Well, once you hear the story and how grossed out it is, you're not going to want to eat. And I love TikTok. I love what it does. I love all the stories you can find on it. I love TikTok's app. I like the company. They're great. You just gotta watch what type of stuff that you say on TikTok because of guidelines and rules that you have to follow, just like anywhere else. So just apply by that. And if you're gonna post a comment on any of my videos, say something nice. I'm trying to spread positivity and happiness on my platform. Now this is kind of negative, but you'll understand it. Seem to be fighting a freaking cold too.
Back into today's video, we're gonna be talking about some situations.
I like Repzilla.
Pretty gross. Fathers finding their daughter's spicy content. I was suggested to talk about these topics, and when I looked into it,
my fucking nose, man, it is running.
On one occasion, a father sending a deep pic to his daughter, and on other occasions, parents are taking pictures for their daughter's spicy content. This is, you need to brace yourself for today's episode of exploring TikTokers.
It's very disgusting for what you're about to see.
This first situation we're going to talk about comes from a TikToker at the time whose name was Tyler. And they posted videos saying that they ruined their mother's marriage.
I ruined my mom's marriage. I never planned on telling this story on TikTok, but here we are. So when I first started my website, I had this customer
for a white chick, she's
was my number one customer, bought every single thing that I sent him. He was pretty much a follower since the beginning. We would talk every day. He made custom requests, very specific things, and he also had a very specific username on the website. 2 months in, this person had spent around 2,000 Australian dollars on the site, and I had someone view my TikTok page with the exact same username, and underneath that it said "from your contacts." I went absolutely mental trying to figure out who this person was from my contacts. I narrowed it down to 6 people, and one of them was my stepdad. I went with my gut feeling and I messaged the website account and I said, I know who this is, and within 2 minutes got a text from my stepdad saying, hey Tay, can we talk?
I looked into this, and apparently the stepfather commented underneath the same username on her TikTok that was on her spicy content. And when this happens, TikTok has an algorithm. Depending on the information you choose to share with TikTok, we may show a suggested account to you because the account belongs to someone in your phone contacts or you're friends with on Facebook. She goes on to explain the details, and it's bad.
My stepdad was my top subscriber on my naughty website. Now I know what you're all thinking. Oh, stepdad fantasy, could have made content from it, blah blah blah.
Hell no, I wasn't thinking that.
That's not what I was thinking.
Nope.
This man had been in my life since I was 11 years old and spent $2,000 on custom content every single video that I sent out. When I...
Stepdad has been around since she was 11. Now, she's making OF content, so she's obviously over the age of 18. I think you gotta be 18 older to start an OF. Legally, that is. I don't know if there's like a parental consent vibe in that at all. I don't know their guidelines. I don't really care about OF. I mean, if you're making OF content to make money, then that's great, but be careful who you send it to. Don't send it to anybody that you know in person, coworkers and all that. It's weird. Don't send it to your family, especially your stepdad. However, she didn't know it was her stepdad until she started revealing it, until she found out the hard way.
I caught him. He denied it to all of his friends, and obviously my mum got rid of him straight away. But yeah, if you want to talk about family trauma,
hot as fuck though.
My stepdad
Face-wise.
watched me have
I don't know what she looks like full body.
sex
There's
with
nothing.
my partner for 2 months.
One user says, so it's okay when other women's husbands support your online prostitution, but when it's personal
can't say
and
that
it's your
word.
mom's
I know,
husband, that's
you
a
can't
problem.
say that word.
So this
That
person's
sucks.
obviously
Certain
stupid.
words you
So
can't
there's
say.
some pretty gross implications here. Number
It's a
one,
guideline
this
rule.
man raised
follow
this girl as a daughter from the age of 11. So once you knew she had spicy content, that's obviously a boundary that you do not cross. And the other implication is, why would you want to? And she explains from the custom content that he was requesting, it becomes disgustingly clear.
Here is the custom content that my stepdad was requesting on my naughty site. Like I said in a previous video, we messaged every single day on the website, and he
she's
would
Australian.
make requests almost
That's hot.
every single day. One of them was to see the underwear that I was wearing every day. At the time, I was working still, so I was out of the house 5 days a week, and he would ask for pictures in the bathroom or the change rooms of wherever I was.
So, are we allowed to see you in your underwear? I'm totally kidding, guys. I don't condone this at all. I mean, do what you want to do with your life and your money. Just don't sell your body in any type of way. There's better ways to make money, honestly. Get out there and work a 9-to-5 job. With her beautiful face, she could actually work with companies that has to do with clothing, for clothing brands, right? That she could also use probably towards her spicy content, really, if she really wanted to. But she could also be an influencer towards women for makeup, because the fact that, like, she looks like she could, like, rep makeup for what it is, you know, like a big makeup company. That's my opinion. I think that she could literally do something with makeup or clothes, or like some type of perfume brand, or something that, or like a company for nails, something female related, that would help, you know, boost females to improve themselves to be better than they were yesterday. As it's like a saying, you know, you want to be better than you were yesterday. I don't know if anybody knows about that saying, but it's been around for a while. So try to be better than the person that you was the day before, and I promise you, each and every day you're going to get better, you're going to grow. I feel so bad for her though. 11 years old, stepdad's been around, and then does this crap, bro. I hope he, like, I hope this, like, his face gets put all over the internet, and the dude just, like, no longer, you know, is, like, around women with kids. I think this guy is a word I'm not going to say on here, but it starts with a P, ends in an O. I think you know where I'm going with this. Parents, keep your kids safe, please, at all costs. This is just unacceptable. She's obviously grown, but you get what I mean. I mean, it started with him taking care of her at 11 years old. Let that sink in. There is a guy that I know in person. His name's Ricky Shepard. And I used to game with this guy. But then I started working with him at my job. I'm not going to say where. But the dude started telling all the co-workers, every single person in there, male, female, it didn't matter. Probably the boss could have found out too, for all I know. I mean, almost everybody knew it was bad. But stated that he was going around saying that he's sleeping with the mind capacity of an 11-year-old, because his woman has that mindset, I guess. She doesn't have autism or anything, and I have nothing against people with autism or any type of special needs. I support all special needs, no matter what you are. I support you. I'm, like, there for you, you know. Much love out there. But this guy was telling everybody at work that he was doing things with his woman. And keep in mind, she is, like, they're both, like, around their 30s, and he says that he's proud to sleep with his woman that has the mindset of a child. Let that sink in. That is about as bad as this. He is about as bad as her stepdad.
He also requested that when I was filming solo content at home that I would not do it in the bathroom or in the shower. He always wanted it to be on my bed or on the floor of my bedroom.
Fighting a little bit of a cold.
Which, mind you, he had access to this room every single day.
He specifically wanted her to be in areas that he could easily access so he could be closer to said fantasy.
Weird.
I don't know if you caught that, but...
Oh, I caught that.
He also requested that when I was filming solo content at home that I would not do it in the bathroom or in the shower.
So she was doing a type of content that you'd normally like to be in the shower for, so as if not to make messes, but she was requested to do it in areas that he could access, so I don't know if I'm making it clear.
Oh, you're making
it
clear,
but
bro.
If not,
you're making
she
it
goes
clear.
on to say this.
Now for a message from today's sponsor. Thank you to Fum for supporting us. You were
Today's
awesome.
video sponsor is Fume.
Or
Do you have
Fume.
a bad habit?
Fume.
Well, it might be time to replace it with a good habit.
You mean this
Fume is
bad habit?
interesting.
I should get
It's
one of
no
those instead of
nicotine,
this?
No vapor, no batteries. It's just delicious flavored air. So this is a habit replacing mechanism. Most of the battle that people
This
have
advertisement
with
is too damn
life
good.
is habitual. Human beings are habitual creatures. This is the box that it comes in, and that's honestly it's pretty cool. The weight on this is like really good. If you hear that clicking, it's like an adjuster for the airflow. Let me close up on that.
So it's just
like adjust
air
airflow.
flavored air. So no nicotine, just all flavored air. Which is pretty cool. What is this?
Healer. CC.
Build your ultimate hero squad. What is this? This is not today's sponsor, but this looks cool. So it's an anime fighting, you take turns type of video game. I forget what they call these games, but it looks cool.
The flavors that they've sent me, they come in like packs like this, and I'm gonna try orange vanilla. Just slide the core in like this. It's pretty simple. So basically, instead of bad, you get Fume, which is like replacing a bad habit with something that's natural, safe, and guilt-free. Oh, it's magnets! What? So they sent me this little base, and I was like, well, how does this stick on here? And I was trying to figure it out, and it's a magnet. And it's a pretty sturdy magnet, like you can
He's a
spin it,
great
and it just
YouTuber,
looks
in my
really
opinion.
neat. It's
I
like
think he's a
weighted.
great dude. His content's great. I'm
And it's
kind of
like nothing.
confused
It
about the
literally
spider
is
webs in the
just like
background, the Halloween stuff. Isn't Halloween
Do it
like
look
so
cool?
last year? It's over with, bro.
Do it look cool? Let me know in the
But
comments
it's his background. I really
join
hate
Fume
it.
in,
I like his background. It's
accelerating
cool.
humanity's
The purple
breakup
lights
from
everywhere
destructive
looks
habits
cool.
by
I like
picking
it.
up,
From the top
your
left, bottom
journey
right. You got the
pack
Illuminati
today.
freaking pyramid symbol at the top left, and an old-fashioned
Use code
camera on
Repzilla
a book.
to get 10%
Kinda confused
off.
on that.
Once again, that's tryfume.com. The code
Is it old-fashioned
Repzilla for an
camera? It
additional
doesn't look like it, but
10%
maybe
off.
it is.
Thank you
I
to
can't
Fume
tell.
for sponsoring what we do.
Now back to the video. Awesome.
I don't know if I'm making it clear for you, but if not, she goes on to say this.
He also was helping out do the washing at home with said underwear. I actually have here a little notebook from the time, and it says the name of the username, change room / public stuff that he was wanting.
Oh my god, this is disgusting. But the funny part about it is how he was verifiably caught.
I gave my stepdad a rating. If you have been following along my TikToks,
Dang,
my
that's
stepdad
sad.
was subscribed to my spicy website, and we talked every single day. And one time
rated
when
his
I was doing a promo for
eggplant.
a $10
We know it's not an
rating,
eggplant. We know what it is.
he
If you're an
sent
adult,
back
you know.
a pic, and I rated it for him. When all this came to light and my mum wanted, I guess, a little bit more confirmation and closure that it was him, my mum asked me to send her a screenshot, which I did, and her response was, yep, that's him, small. This has to be
Dang.
one of the most mortifying things that has ever happened in my life.
So when I was looking into this, there's a lot of people saying just based on her demeanor, this is something that she's obviously having fun with, she doesn't care about, and it isn't bothering her. And that's not necessarily true, because people in situations like this often experience this.
This dislocation can occur in response to traumatic events and or in response to prolonged exposure to trauma. For example, trauma that occurs in the context of people's relationships. Dissociation, that's how you pronounce it, I believe, can affect memory, sense of identity, the way the world is perceived, and the connection to the physical body. 3.
Dissociative trauma responses. When they have these types of responses,
They have mental
feel
health
like
right below
the thing
it.
that they're
That's cool.
talking about didn't
Supporting
actually
mental
happen to
health
them. They're able
awareness.
to
I
take
love it.
themselves out of the role and look at it from a bird's eye view. Now, this is one of many possibilities when it comes to these types of situations, but I think we can all agree that this is pretty gross. But the father's response to this leads me to believe that he had most likely exhibited manipulative and predatory behavior in the past.
Here is what my stepdad said to me when I called him out for being subscribed to my naughty website. When I figured out that it was him and I messaged the account saying I know who this is, his first response on the website was, "Who? ? Babe, you don't know." And I then responded and I said, "You need to tell her before my sister and I do." Within a couple of minutes of me sending that message on the website, I got a text message to my phone from my stepdad saying, "Hey Tay, can we talk?" I said, "No, we cannot talk. You need to tell her right now," meaning my mum. He then proceeded to beg me to speak to him before I went to my mum. He had no idea I was actually already on the phone to my mum as these texts were coming through. My mum was happy with me speaking to him. I kept her on the line on another phone and she listened to the whole thing, and he pretty much said that he subscribed for my welfare, and I said $2,000 for my welfare. He then said it obviously turned into something that it should.
The mother's reaction to this kind of solidifies my feelings about this, as it does seem like she knew that this guy had some dirty tendencies.
I would have been mad.
So I told her on the phone as he was messaging me asking to speak to me, and I just said, look, he's pretty much outed himself by saying, "Hey Tay, can we talk?" It's definitely him. I had to tell her the extent of the content that he had been buying. And my mum is normally a very loud, strong, opinionated woman, and she was very quiet and definitely in shock. She wanted me to call him and talk to him with her on the phone, so I called him from my partner's phone on a private number, and she heard what he was saying about how it was for my welfare. By the time he got home, about half an hour later, my mum basically said, "Pack your bags, get out, this is done." He had absolutely zero chance of redeeming himself. My mum also had a few choice words to say, which I can't say on TikTok, about him being a...
So even after this guy exhibited all
I
these
know what she called
predatory
him.
behaviors...
Yep, I would have too. Nasty. Nasty, man. You don't do this. Dune Awakening. Today's sponsor is Dune Awakening. It's an online multiplayer game. This is not a sponsor, I wish. But I have played the private beta that I signed up for it before they released it. Great game, great game. I've got content of this on my channel as well. I played for like an hour, I believe, but I had fun playing it. I didn't get to do all this stuff they're all doing, but I had fun playing it. Dune Awakening, great game, worth buying.
He was kicked
I
out of
plan
the
on
house.
getting it for the
Still
PC.
to
This game looks
day,
fantastic.
He's actually still stalking this girl.
So I've started a new platform this morning, and I put up a new few videos, and someone just bought something using that same username. I have not posted this username anywhere. It is literally impossible for anyone who is not a family member to know what the username is unless it's freaking him. My bet is that he has found me now on this other website. Even though he's blocked from all my social media, he's blocked from my main first website where he was subscribed, and now he's purchasing my videos somewhere else. At least he's not in my family anymore, right? Do I just make money off him?
So I think that this solidifies that this sick, perverted person has probably always looked at his daughter in this way. I hope this woman stays safe. At this point, if I was her, I would take out a restraining order. It's getting weird, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section.
I'd farm that money off him if
Before we
he's
get
a
into the next
simp.
situation I want to talk about, I've seen this clip from the Whatever podcast where it turns out the daughter has parents that are taking pictures for her spicy content, and I want to hear you guys' opinions on this.
Yes, my dad knows, because he was the first one actually was supporting me before my mom was, and my dad take pictures of me and my mom takes pictures of me for OnlyFans. So
your mom and dad, they're your photographers.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't care.
And that's extremely disturbing.
That's very
I
weird.
think there are boundaries
Yeah.
that you
Have
shouldn't
your
cross
partner
or even
do
get
it.
anywhere near.
Not a
What are
relative.
your thoughts on this? And to hear that the father was the first to jump at being supportive about this type of thing and taking
That's a red flag.
pictures
A major red flag.
is a red flag to me.
Yep.
I would go as far to say that I guess that he has a lot to do with the last dad that we spoke about.
Like how him and I
But
were
it
thinking the
gets
same
worse.
You
shit.
do full on
They don't
OnlyFans?
like take pictures like that, like just like teasing. Like I don't care, or like
Okay.
pictures of my it's like in a bathing suit. Like they don't do that.
Do they
Like,
help?
I do that myself.
Are they like act as your manager too, or?
With my money, they like. My mom does my taxes for me,
Okay.
basically,
Sure.
and like just like my dad like is on the account too.
Okay.
Like does it.
Got it.
So essentially, you have parents who are helping the daughter make money with her body. This is what you call bad optics. So the problem that I see with the parents
I like how you use
participating
that
in
soldier
the
as bad
daughter's
optics.
spicy
That's
content
cool.
is that it could contribute to the objectification of the daughter, and therefore reducing her to her physical appearance or her spicy appeal, as opposed to valuing her as a whole entire person. But this is blurring more lines than just that. And no matter what you think, this is without a doubt blurring the healthy boundaries between parents and children. The next situation that we have also comes from the hellscape we know as TikTok. A TikToker named Carla posted saying, she said, LMAO, did you know it's not illegal for your father to buy your inappropriate images? Damn, it definitely should be. So normally it isn't illegal
Definitely
to buy an
should be,
adult
for
spicy
real.
content, but in this situation, along with the obvious moral and disgusting ethical lines that we've discussed previously, there are a couple of factors to consider.
Ink's laws. In many jurisdictions, Ink's laws prohibit actual relationships or actual activity between close relatives, including fathers and daughters. While purchasing explicit photos may not involve physical contact, it could still be considered as contributing to an incestuous dynamic, which might be illegal depending on the laws in the specific jurisdiction.
These things obviously also apply to the situation to do with Talia. Carla goes on to say, when my dad, yes my dad, has been buying my OF content through not one but 2 accounts, and was a personal client of mine on both of my accounts for over a year, and the only way I found out is because he called me to play with myself for $150, and I could hear my mom in the background talking on the phone. Holy. One user saying, I'm so sorry about that. That's so traumatic. Another saying, this is the most traumatic thing I've ever read. I'm so sorry. Now I want you to keep in mind that this is this girl's biological father, and when she put out this video, somebody commented to which she responded saying this. They said, your fault for doing it. Hope King taught you a lesson. This person is obviously disgusting and most likely looks like Smeagol. See, this type of video is harmful because it undermines the experiences and suffering of the person it actually happened to, while also deflecting away from the action of the predator. Now, it's very obviously important that we hold those disgusting individuals accountable for their actions, not the children. Often people who say this are very stupid or projecting, because obviously they have no idea what happened in the situation. Carla goes on to allege crimes that YouTube will not let me explain in detail. Just understand this, a P-word has no place in society.
Whenever I was like middle school age, so around 7th grade, 8th grade, I would have several fake accounts reach out to me. But the first account that really caught my eye was George Lewis. And this George Lewis was really demanding and wanted a lot. And you know what, my 8th grade self participated in some. None where it personally involved me saying anything.
So I think it's important to explain when she says she participated in it but not willingly, is that we find later on that the father actually had taken the phone of the girl, taking photographs from her phone when she was 15 that were inappropriate, and saved them on his phone.
That's weird.
But he would send me pics on my old Snapchat so I could rate his fitness for money. This is the George Lewis account that he had used whenever I was in middle school. So obviously I just found out yesterday that he had been behind 2 separate accounts that have been clients for a very long time. So he's just been building this attraction towards me for years. Your king has been doing that for years.
So just going over this and listening to the details of how this biological father preyed on and stalked his daughter for years anonymously. One of the most disturbing stories I've ever heard on the internet.
Exploitation. Even if both parties are adults, there could be concerns about exploitation, coercion, or abusing of power. particularly if the father is in a position of authority or influence over the daughter.
Another really gross part about this is he'd made multiple accounts. One of the accounts got so demanding and aggressive that she had to cut that person off.
Just look at that water placement, expertly done. This is completely a sport. We are splitting the arms and jetpack geniuses. The movement is so fluid, so fast, you can't stop and you can't catch.
Let's play game 2.
And to complete the comeback, he's going to try. He shoots. He gets the kill. Now that's how you portal. They're not done yet. They got one. They got another. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Oh my God! They did it. And so did it.
This was the father.
I hope I don't get
This
a
is
lawsuit
really,
for that soundtrack.
really
That was just a
messed
YouTube ad, and I was busy making coffee.
Enrique, because he was getting really demanding. Next you know, Marcos popped up, but it was just my father trying to reach out to me on a different account because I wasn't giving him attention on his first account.
Another really disgusting thing about this situation is that apparently the mother knew.
I was like, Mom, like, he has been doing what he's been doing, and my mom automatically believed me. Back to George Lewis. So whenever I was dealing with that situation, I had brought it up to my mom, so I was like, I think this is dad. Because this man knew things that people should have known that were happening in the household. Like,
She's
this man
very
was like,
pretty,
your parents must
but
be so
I
disappointed.
feel bad for what she
They
went
must think
through.
you're disgusting. Yada,
This is a different
yada.
chick. She went through this
And
too.
we're just
Dang,
describing
man.
things that people should
Why?
know. So I brought it up to
Just
my mom. I was like,
no.
I think this is dad, but I don't know how to prove it.
I just realized the background moves.
Mind you,
That's cool.
I just found out yesterday that he's been under the account of George Lewis, but my mom has personally known for the last 2 months. Technically, obviously, that's a way of child endangerment, if that makes any sense.
This dude was degrading the daughter.
Parents
from
knew.
doing the content at the
Mom
same time as
knew and
consuming
didn't care.
content.
Damn.
And finding out the mother knew about this is not good. So apparently there was a court case to do with this, but this person's TikTok no longer exists, so I'm unable to get any updates on it. But if you do want to provide help to people in difficult situations, we are doing this year's charity. Under any video that says fundraiser, you'll find a charity to the right on desktop or below on mobile. Currently
It's
at
on his video, not mine,
$765
guys.
and 5,000 raised. If you have donated on this, let me know in the comment section below. I have no doubt we're going to meet this goal. In fact, if every person that watched my video right now donated $1, we will be able to meet this today. Just go to donate, click other, and type $1, and then press continue. If you have donated in this year's charity, I really appreciate you very much. Let me know in the comment section below so I can personally say thank you.
I hope one day
We're
I'll get
almost
to
at
do this.
15,000
Make,
on Instagram. I'm trying to reach that
fundraisers.
goal. If you want to help me get to that goal, let me know. Also, I have DMs open, so if you have any suggestions, any topics that you want me to cover, send me a DM. I will get back to you. If I haven't got back to you yet, because I said this in the last video too, just give me a couple days. I am going through those. You will hear from me.
Same with me. If you guys got any stories with TikTok or anything, and you so happen to come across this live stream later on in the future, and you're able to post a comment on my video, just post a link if it'll let you of like a TikToker that needs to be discussed over, and I'll actually do my own edits like he does and talk about that subject of whatever it is. I will, however, have to keep it to a minimum because of guidelines and rules and what you can and cannot read out loud, if that makes sense. I'd like to make my TikTok more about everything in the world, not just gaming, but like anything. News, music, gaming, obviously gaming, but like music, news, you know, anything that's like related to the world that just needs to be spreaded out. I would like to participate in that if it's gonna make a impact in the world or a difference. I would like to be similar to like what this guy's doing. There's a lot of content creators I wish I could become, and it's because of the fact that the content that they make, it shows a bigger impact in the world because they're getting something out there for the world to see, to understand it. This is what's going on in today's society, you know, and that's the type of stuff I would like to post. But yeah.
I want to talk about another clip from the Whatever podcast that I think is going to spark some pretty nuanced conversations.
It's called Whatever
here.
Podcast. That's a
Let's
podcast
get into
name.
it. So this guy's making a point, and given
It's
we
called
don't have all
Whatever
the context,
Podcast.
and
That's
this is
funny.
just a short 1 minute
Whatever.
clip on YouTube. He's trying to explain to the spicy content creator why their spicy content is bad.
Another ad.
In business,
I
you
want
only
YouTube
get one
Premium.
chance to make a great first
YouTube
impression.
Premium has ads too, by the way, so I really don't want YouTube Premium.
I believe that his logic is flawed here. I'm gonna break it down for you.
Feel comfortable if your father was watching your OnlyFans and subscribing to it?
Probably not.
You would not feel comfortable, and I'll tell you why. That's because in your heart of hearts, in your soul, if you still got one, you know it's wrong. And I'll give you an example. That's your...
So his premise here is spicy content is bad because you would not show it to your father. I believe this is not logically sound because it just much like the other topics in this video that we've covered, the big problem with a father consuming the daughter's spicy content is it's incestuous, and this is the example he gives.
Facts.
You know it's wrong. And I'll give you an example. That's your work. In my work, if my mother consumed my work, I'd be thankful and pleased that she took an interest in my work and supported my work. If she bought my products, I'd be thankful. If your mother or father bought your products, you'd be disgusted and ashamed because you know what you're doing is wrong and the product of what you're doing is bad.
So I understand this dude is very against spicy content creation, but this is not the same equivalence. There are very clear nuances.
It's essential to recognize that the X industry encompasses a wide range of experiences and perspectives. While some individuals may choose to create spicy content willingly and autonomously as a form of work, others may do so out of financial necessity, coercion, or exploitation. In these situations, the work may not be entirely voluntary or may involve harmful power dynamics, which can impact the well-being and agency of the individuals involved.
There are other ways this could have been framed, because I'm guaranteeing the work that he's doing and the work that she's doing is completely different.
Oh yeah. And for different reasons.
Whether or not you think that spicy content is morally reprehensible, wrong, or not, it does not equate to the reasons why it would be wrong for a parent to consume a daughter's spicy content. One could be considered a federal crime and the other one is not. I think it would have been a better example to say, how would you feel if friends consumed that content, because that would make a little bit more sense. Do you feel proud of your work in that regard? Because that's the point he's trying to make. But
I wouldn't want my friends or family or anybody I know in person
I'm pretty sure
to
it's
see
going to open up
my
some interesting
content
conversations
if I was
that we can have.
into
That being said, it's interesting. This is always something that's
But if
more
I
interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up if it was like. As always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. Thanks again if you've donated to the charity. I also want to give a big shout out to my patrons for your continued and ongoing support. I really appreciate you guys. If you want to support the channel and help me call out terrible, just absolutely bizarre situations, among other things, on the channel and get your name at the end of my videos, then the Patreon link is in the description. I will put it in the pinned comment.
Courtney is a seagull.
Great way to support the channel, and it's also
that's a name.
You're repping. If you're not repping, you're getting hate dog. Subscribe, notifications, be in the comment section every single video because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there in spirit, and the rest of the Rep Squad community as well. And I expect to see you there too because this channel loves you.
You said something about a cat is going to be there in spirit. I'm starting to think he lost an animal, and I just did not know about that on his channel. And if that's the case, I am so sorry. But look at this, total raise, $4,489, and they're doing it for donation collected by RAIN, a non-profit website. RAIN has to do with, well, I can't say that word, but if you know what word this is right here, abuse, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but things that, you know, has to do with families sleeping together, that sort of nasty thing. It's that word, national network. It's the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. RAIN created and operates the National Sexual Assault Hotline. You know what word I'm trying to say. In partnership with more than 1,000 local sexual assault service. They use this word a lot in here. Providers across the country, and operates the DoD Safe Helpline for the Department of Defense. RAIN also carries out programs to prevent sexual violence, help victims, and ensure that perpetrators are brought to justice. I can't read, apparently, today. Anyways, that is enough for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces. Oh, and subscribe to Rebzilla. Great content creator. And CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla is another one. Just type in coffee and then ZILLA, all put together. CoffeeZilla. And then Rebzilla. REPZILLA. You'll find their channels. They post great content. If you're looking for anything that has to do with TikTok or anything going on in the world with YouTube, then check out Ray William Johnson. Great content creator. Love the name. Feel bad for the stuff that this dude has been recently going through. But anyways,